So the other day I was advising one of my C-level suite clients, and we'll call him Sam. Sam is an extremely successful CEO. His business is making close to $10 million a year. Everything is going well from a public standpoint, but what most people don't see are the internal happenings, if you will, with Sam and his staff. And one of the things that I spoke to about Sam was about his demeanor and what I would call a P&L CEO. What does that mean? Well, that's a CEO who is strictly driven by the bottom line numbers in their P&L. It's all about the numbers to the detriment of his employees. And so what I noticed happening was, yes, he's super successful, making a lot of money, but his staff are extremely unhappy with him. They've told me lots of times, and what I understood them to be saying was that he has no emotional intelligence, is that the way that he talks to them is demeaning, his behavior is condescending, and his expectations are unreasonable. And so I had a conversation with Sam and I said, look, you may be successful, and your definition of successful may be you're making $10 million, but in a few years, you're not even gonna have a company because your turnover is super high. To Sam's credit, he took my advice pretty well and really did a lot of soul searching, if you would, and tried to figure out, why is he driven strictly by the numbers? He understood and realized that he just felt a lot of pressure to do good, and in his mind, doing good was making a lot of money, but he shifted his focus and started to pay attention to his people and started to do some of the things that emotionally intelligent people do, which is to listen, allow people to talk and say what they have to say, and understand why they are saying what they're saying. Why are they coming from this perspective? That's really the key for emotional intelligence. Hi, my name is Bertha Barrezo, and I am an employment lawyer and managing shareholder of Barrezo & Barrezo. We help clients not only in the state of Florida, but nationwide. Today, we're going to talk about what is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, it's really about being able to tap into a person's psyche, to understand who they are, what makes them do the things that they do, and having compassion for that individual. Compassion comes from a place of understanding where they're coming from, but also compassion to understand why they're doing the things that they do, and to help them move past whatever issues that they're having so that they can be a productive citizen in your workplace. One good example of emotional intelligence is, let's say that you have an employee that comes into the office, they look a bit disheveled, not how they typically look, but different than most days that they show up. You ask them a simple question. Hey, good morning, how's it going? And that's a genuine how's it going, not a how's it going just to fill the air with. It's a, hey, I wanna know, how are you doing today? The person who's looking disheveled reveals, hey, my mom just passed away last night. That should be a red flag that it's time for your emotional intelligence to kick in. This person obviously is in a grieving space and aren't feeling very motivated to do work today, so give them the space to talk about it. Tell me what happened last night. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. I'm here for you if you need anything, but let them talk, let them say what they need to say. Because sometimes just taking the top or releasing the valve a little bit goes a long way. Why is emotional intelligence essential for businesses? It's really simple. Your people are what drives your business. And if you aren't there and showing up for your staff and your employees and having them understand that you truly are there for them, not just to push them to produce, to make widgets or to do their job, but you want to know who they are as a whole person, what's going on in their life. Now, I'm not saying that you have to just sit by the water cooler listening to everybody's problems. I'm simply saying a few minutes a day, even if it's in a group setting, checking in with people just to see where they're at. That's going to go a long way to not only having a productive workforce, but also setting the culture for your people and them feeling like they're important, not just to produce, but also as a human being showing up to the job. And you'll see see that your production will go up, the money will come to you. Here are 3 ways you can show up for your team by being emotionally intelligent. Number 1, do your own work. If there's something going on, check in with yourself. Figure out how you can at least resolve what's going on with yourself, but at least put it to rest long enough so that you can also do your job. So doing your own work is key. Number 2, take care of yourself, because if you practice being emotionally available to yourself, it's going to be easier to show up and be emotionally available for your staff. What does that look like? It looks different for everyone. For some people, taking care of themselves and their emotional needs means simply going to the beach and having a free day, or playing golf if that's your thing, or maybe even reading a good book. You got to figure out what those things are. Again, it kind of goes back to doing your own work and understanding that you have your own tools to get through your emotional work. Lastly, goes back to communication. This is key in almost everything when it comes to the workplace. Having an open dialogue, an open communication with your staff, checking in with them, making sure that you have a pulse on where they're at. One little thing that could be going on can impact their entire day and possibly their entire work production. If you're a business owner or an HR professional and you deal with people on a daily basis and you need help keeping your company culture on track, or maybe even getting it back on track, give us a call. We've helped hundreds of companies and HR teams make sure that their company culture is on track. Thank you for listening.